Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Bart Farrell. I've been lucky enough to be one of the co-organizers of KCD Pakistan, an amazing event. I'm so excited that you're all here with us today, and just wanted to reflect on some of the things that we're thinking about in terms of the future of the Kubernetes community. So I'm going to share my screen. Just got a really simple presentation. I'm not a very good graphic designer, so I always try to just focus on simple text. But the idea is for this to be as easy to follow along as possible. So like I said, you want to be very, very practical. You've experienced a lot today looking at all the different talks that have been shared, all the different content that's been created. The amazing folks have been giving talks on all different kinds of topics, whether it's beginners or folks that have a lot more experience, touching different areas that form part of the very vast Kubernetes ecosystem. And if this is your first time interacting with the ecosystem, welcome, welcome, and welcome. Insist on that. You all have a place to be actively involved in this wonderful group, this community that's international, all over the world, folks of all different kinds of backgrounds. And that's what really makes it the wonderful entity that it is. So that being said, all right, there are a lot of different things that are going on. And so how can you become part of it, right? One thing that I'll repeat a lot here, you don't need to be in a hurry. There are many different ways that you can get involved. As one person, a friend of mine, Kunal Kushwaha, says, the best way to get involved is to get involved, but there's no rush, all right? So the future of the Kubernetes community is a future that needs folks like you, regardless of your background, your technical experience or non-technical experience. Everyone has something that they can offer and many, many different things that they can learn by sharing in these common experiences, okay? So just a few different things that are going on that you can check out. We can also share some of the links for these things. You're attending the first Kubernetes Community Days in Pakistan, but obviously there are lots of Kubernetes Community Days happening all over the world. Just this week, we also have one in Amsterdam. Coming up, there are some in different parts of the world. I know I'm hopefully going to be attending virtually or in person, KCD in Italy. I believe that's going to be in June. But like I said, these are different ways for folks to get involved, for local talent and people from the host country to be able to share their skills and their experiences, along with interacting with folks from different parts of the world. And speaking of that, second one that I put on there is a great new initiative being run by Charlie Mann. Shout out to her. Humans of Cloud Native. So Humans of Cloud Native is taking a closer look at some of the amazing stories that are happening here, right? Of the very vast ecosystem that we have in the CNCF. Because although we talk a lot about technology, at the end of the day, behind all those technologies are incredible people that are the driving force that are making these changes happen. So like I said, it's a really nice way to get inspired and to see the different ways that people are participating and making this ecosystem richer and richer through the spirit of paying it forward and connecting people from different cultures. Because we learn so much when we step outside our confines of our cultures and seeing how other people solve problems, how they interact, how they work together in groups. Like I said, all these things I'm very, very grateful to be in contact with because it really helps you grow as a person. If you're new or not new, so SIGs, special interest groups, lots of different SIGs focused on different technological areas, depending on what your kind of interests are. Really important, first of all, to ask yourself, what are the things that you're good at? What are the things that you'd like to be learning more? And based on that, that can help you get situated in one area or another. I got started through the contributor experience SIG, feels like 500 years ago, about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And once again, I come from a very, very non-technical background. And so at first I was thinking, how can I possibly get involved? But I got involved and I was extremely welcomed and just observed and then found different ways that I could help out, all right? By contacting folks, by seeing different stories that could perhaps be shared about different people's experiences contributing to the Kubernetes community, because there's so many different ways to contribute. So like I said, think about the stuff that you're interested in, and then based on that, you can see, okay, maybe this open source project or this SIG, like I said, different areas. Certifications, always want folks to know that there are for folks that are starting out, there's the Kubernetes Cloud Native Associate exam, the KCNA. Then there are other also certifications for folks that want to focus more on CKA for Certified Kubernetes Administrator, or CKD, CKS if you're more interested on the security side. So like I said, that's always an option in terms of the future, what we're building out, helping folks have a system, a framework to absorb that knowledge in a more systematic manner, all right? Another thing, of course, you have meetups that are in person or virtual happening all the time. So based on, or you could also start one. Remember, always be sure that you have a good team and follow along the guidelines for doing so. Have wonderful people that can give you advice there. That's a nice way to connect with both local ecosystems as well as through the online content through international ones. And then, of course, larger scale events like KubeCon. An important point about KubeCon too is that you can attend in person. You can also attend virtually. There are scholarship funds for people that perhaps don't have the financial support to be able to pay for their expenses. So you can always check that out too. And this is, once again, a very big part of the future of the community is making sure that as many different people from as many different parts of the world are able to attend either in person or virtually. So always keep that in mind. Also for students, there are additional options. So like I said, just keep that in mind. Don't feel that just because of where you live, that you can't be a part of this. Of course you can, right? And this is the very future of the community depends on that accessibility and the ability to include folks from all different backgrounds, countries, cultures, technical, non-technical backgrounds, etc. Now, a big thing that I mentioned briefly is thinking about your skills and what you can offer. Everyone has something to offer. Like I said, in my case, a very non-technical background, but I've realized that I have other skills that can help out. I speak different languages. I am interested in different topics. I've been leading a community for the last 2.5 years. So that's something that I can offer in terms of, you need a speaker who has this kind of skills or those kind of skills. We had some speakers from the Data on Kubernetes community today in KCD Pakistan. Great job. And so like I said, everyone has different skills that they can offer. Think about that, right? Just reflect a little bit, and then that will help you, once again, become part of the future of the Kubernetes community. Because like I said, everyone has something that they can provide. Time. Now, in terms of time, you get to decide how much time makes sense for you, right? No one's asking for a massive, 100 hours a week commitment. If you have that kind of time, let me know your secret. But like I said, time is obviously a factor there, but you need to be realistic and fair to yourself. The future of the Kubernetes community is not one in which everyone's getting burned out because they're signing up for too many things. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Mentoring, like I said, based on the skills that you have, you probably have there's someone out there who needs to learn the skills that you already have, right? So that's another way to get involved. There are mentorships, menteeship programs. In KubeCon, there are also open mentoring sessions. I often find in mentoring sessions where I'm the mentor is that I end up being mentored by the people I'm mentoring because they show me the different things that folks are needing. So like I said, there's always this wonderful exchange of ideas. So like I said, mentoring is a great way to do that. And then contribution. When I say contribution, it can be technical, it can be non-technical. Easy way to get involved, documentation, right? By reading documentation, you learn. You can also look for errors, typographical errors. Classic way to get involved is just checking out documentation. There's also localization projects to translate documentation to make it more accessible to folks for whom maybe English isn't their first language. So you can check out what's going on in the Cloud Native Glossary. There are other projects as well too where you can contribute with language skills. And of course, with every open source project that you're going to see in the CNCF, you will see a contributor guide, right? So that can help you get started. Those resources are very beneficial. Don't feel like you need to run in, once again, with a time commitment and feel like you need to be spending hundreds and hundreds of hours. Like I said, the future of the community is dependent upon how we are, as a community, able to make it easier for folks to get started. So that's also why we need your feedback, right? Say, hey, I didn't really understand this, or I detected this problem. That's a great contribution because if you had that problem, somebody else probably did too, right? So thinking about that. Like I said, do not be in a hurry, right? Enjoy the process. Ask for help when you feel like it's necessary, if you feel like you're getting stuck. Many different Slack channels that you can be involved in. Like I said, don't be in a hurry. Think about what's going to be working best for you. So next steps, based on your needs and objectives, where should you start? Start slowly. do yourself the favor to take a little bit of time and think about what's going to be the best and most meaningful way for me to get involved. You have lots of folks who have been in the event today, as well as Saim, amazing job as an organizer, one of the hardest working people I know in the ecosystem. So like I said, there are folks who are willing and ready to help you out. You can reach out to me as well on the CNCF for Kubernetes Slack or the Data on Kubernetes community Slack, and I'd be happy to continue the conversation further. Like I said, the future of the Kubernetes community is based on the ability to incorporate and help folks, regardless of their background, technical or non-technical, wherever they are in the world, to help those folks get involved and become part of this story. That's the amazing thing that we get to interact with every day. That's this power of people and community. So like I said, thank you very much for your time today. Thank you so much for attending the first Kubernetes Community Days. Pakistan, it's an amazing first event to get done. Incredible content that's been created, bringing people together from the amazing and vibrant ecosystem in Pakistan and also from the larger Kubernetes community around the world. Once again, my name is Bart. Been very nice chatting with you folks today and look forward to future conversations. Take care.